No matter how you did on your early NFL bets, join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Before You Bet with DommyGunRici and DJ Bigboss, who banging sports talk.
What up, now? We coast to coast right now, the West Coast to the East Coast. Good morning, good afternoon, DommyGunRici. How you feeling today?
How you doing, DJ Big Boss? I'm doing well. Everything's good. Nice day out today. Good Sunday. And that's it, man. Week five already. So now we're starting to see the teams, see who the real teams are. You know, those first 2-3 weeks were sloppy football and kind of like an overlap of preseason, especially get week 1 and 2, especially. So now we're starting to see who's who, and I'll tell you, the league looks pretty wide open in ways. You know, I still don't see a runaway team. I mean, we know the Bills are good, and we always talk about the Chiefs and stuff, but I don't know, man. This could be a year for a sneaker. We don't know. So far, the Rams came out not too well. Right, so let's see.
I mean, it's wild, man. I mean, even we thought at the beginning maybe the Bills was that team, you know what I'm saying? But that's not even the team. Even shout out to Picks from Dave in the house, man. What's up with you, man?
What up, nerds?
But yeah, man, it's a weird world of sports. This is kind of spilling over to all the sports. Even in basketball, you don't really have a clear dominant team. You know, in the professional sports, I'm gonna say, because in college you still got Alabama in football, and you still got some elite basketball teams. But even like Duke and North Carolina in college basketball, they're not who they used to be either. So maybe it's just the transition of sports. Same thing like with sports betting, right? Everybody's going over the props and all this stuff is developing. I mean, the more we keep using computers and analysts and doing this and that and on our phones, then the more, we're going to start changing the game a little bit, man. And I think that's just where we're going. What you think about that?
That's 100%. I've been talking about it for a while. I think that I think everything's changing. I think the whole sports thing, it's something we should work on and like get a panel together and have a good discussion about it, because I'm sure Dave has some views on this too.
Just because of the weather? I know.
How did that happen? Oh, there we go. I think everything is changing from who's considered sharps, what the public money is. I think all that's changing, man. And there's so many more people betting now that I'm surprised. I didn't know there was going to be, I figured that most people that bet are still going to bet, and it's just going to be legal. I really didn't think it was going to be this influx, unless the money that's been bet illegally was that high. I don't know, but well, I heard a number the other day how there's been $11 billion bet in New York since January. That's a pretty staggering number. Now, I mean, New York
is coming to Cali soon.
Right. It's always been a betting stronghold, the same as California, right? But, has there been that many more people? I figured it would go up 10, 20%, but has it gone up like, Jesus? Or was the mob making all that real? No wonder they didn't want to give it up.
Exactly.
But anyhow, I think everything is changing, man. And I think that I said it during baseball this year. Like the first 5, all of a sudden that's a spot we've been betting for now the last year or two, last couple of years, 3 years. It seems to me that was a bet that a lot guys that like us that bet all the time. I think we were on that play more than the regular guy, what they say, the public. But that play this year, I read a couple times that Bookies was saying that they were getting that bet increased more than any other bet. So that became more of a public play now, first 5. And you see the numbers changing. So with that bet, because you don't see the good odds like you used to see. So anyhow, yep. And you know what? I don't know, man. Sharps has always been based on how much money people are betting and the big dollars. I don't know if that's so true either. There's a lot of guys like us that aren't, big time bettors that are just as sharp as anybody else. If we had the bankroll, that's the difference. Yeah. So anyhow.
And then places like DraftKings and stuff too. I mean, they do all this different stuff, and then they kind of hide it in the juice. You know, they have these amazing lines and stuff like that. And when you go into it further, you're like, what? Minus 160, minus 180.
Right.
You know, it's not worth it. You know, you can buy a point in some places and you shouldn't even be buying points. But that's a whole other chapter of sports betting.
Yeah, that's a whole
101.
other chapter.
But do you got any rants this week, Richie?
My rant was I almost had one, but my boys won last night, so
I got a rant.
I'm good. I was ready to go crazy on the Mets, even though it's a football show, but because I would have been screaming from last night. but no. I'll have one. I'll work on one for next year. What? Tell me what's on your mind?
I got a rant, guy. Oh shit. This excuse me for wait. Let me filter my cursing because the whole channel's been getting cut off for cursing and all other stuff going on. But anyways, my rant. This algorithm stuff, it's got to be controlled, man. I mean, I love the Dodgers and the algorithm that they do to know who they're going to start and who they're going to do and all this kind of stuff. But shoot, Brian Kelly in the LSU game yesterday on 4th and goal, 4th and 4, deciding to go for it because the algorithm says so. The algorithm says you have a 70% chance of getting the first down or this, that, and the third.
The analytics.
Man,
yeah.
Just kick the field goal. Play football. Play defense. Kick the field goal. God, Lee, they're paying you $1 million. This is not a video game. You're not hitting X, Y, Z or nothing. It's real life football. Kick the field goal, coaches. Kick the field goal. Us bettors would love you just to go ahead and kick the field goal.
Didn't Harbaugh do the same thing last week with the Ravens or the week before? What week was that? Dave, you probably remember. You know, Harbaugh didn't go for the field goal and went for the 4th down and didn't get it, and they ended up losing that game. And that's why the Ravens lost that game. I forgot which game it was, but that's on the same thing that you're saying. Yeah, I read about that. Not read about it. I watched it this morning. I was watching the highlights, and I seen that whole thing about and one of the guys was saying that on ESPN, how like why wouldn't he kick the field goal? So yeah, I hear you, man. These coaches, man, are starting to like, you know, everything is whatever that fucking paper says. Oops, you ain't supposed to curse, right? Everything's what that, you know, what the analytics say, and it gets crazy. Listen, it happens in all the sport. It happens in baseball all the time. It makes you crazy. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, man, that's some wild stuff. Well, let's take a look at where the games are. Let me bring in the extra page. So we got time today. Sorry we don't have no guests today, but if you're out there, you'd like to be a guest, just let us know in the chat. We'll get you in here. It's not a big deal, but we're just kind of lounging today, having a good time. So tell them about how well those bets went for you yesterday, DommyGunRici. You had a great day yesterday.
Yesterday I had a good day.
Tell them a little bit about that.
Well, yesterday I had a good day in baseball, which was followed up by a terrible day on Friday. Friday I just got Scherzer K-prop loss. You know, we see what the Mets did. Team total loss. It was just a disaster that day. But yesterday I was big on the Mariners all the way through. I was taking them. It was going to be one of the biggest bet I probably made this year, and no matter who they played, if it was the Guardians or the Blue Jays. And luckily, they came through, down to 8-1 yesterday. Mariners tie up the game, go to extra innings, win the game, win the series, plus 130. It was a beautiful thing. Had a couple props in that game too. Gossman over 4.5 hits allowed was plus 140. I hit that. And Robbie Ray was the same thing, like minus 104. I hit that. So it was a good day. Then the Mets, of course, won. Jacob deGrom did what he was supposed to do. And I had the Mets over 5.5. Like I have the Mets tonight over 6.5. If the Mets are going to win, usually that's how they win. They ain't winning those low scoring games. And listen, we know Bassett could give up a couple runs. I think the 6.5 is a solid bet tonight. I didn't want to bet the side. I think the Mets have a good advantage. I think the Padres had them on the ropes yesterday, and that was the time to get them. But listen, that's playoff baseball. Who knows what's going to happen? A lot of sweeps. I did have the Cardinals in the series too, but that was that. But other than that, it was a good day. But you know how that goes. We got the roller coaster. I say is always the roller coaster ride is always in effect. That's for sure. So you know how it is when we sports gamble. As long as we come out a little bit ahead at the end of the week, we're doing good. But today we got some good games, man. We got some. First of all, we have as DJ calls the fourth quarter, the second half magic, right, DJ? How all
Fourth
these
quarter
games
magic.
start turning, man. Tell us.
Fourth quarter magic. So let's go through it right here, man. I know y'all can see on the screen right here. We're gonna slide through these games right here. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. That was done when it started, man. I kind of knew Pittsburgh didn't have a chance. Not the same Pittsburgh we've been looking at for years.
No.
So y'all get used to that. But you know, it's any given Sunday, so I can't say too much.
Tough spot for the kid too. Tough spot for Prickett to go on the road, so against Buffalo no less. So yeah.
And then you got Houston and Jacksonville having a good old fashioned under tug of war right here going into the fourth quarter. Let us know in the chat if you're on any side of that game. Looks like who was this? Houston's in the red zone, and something might have happened. But there's 3 minutes left in that game, so still plenty of fourth quarter magic to go in that game.
6-6.
Get your live bet out and figure out where you're gonna make this money. Fourth quarter magic already in effect right here in the Minnesota-Chicago game. Looks like Minnesota might have scored a touchdown though, with 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
Did they? I see 22-21 Chicago. Oh, there you go. It just changed. Yes, they did. 22-27 now. Minnesota just went on top. 2:26 left. We would just say though, DJ, and you said this a lot, that you got to be careful with Minnesota. They don't really close games out too well. And listen, they let Chicago back in this game. I mean, look at they were up 21-10 at the half. So yeah. But I got my field goal prop. There you go. Chicago over 1.5 field goals. My secret bet. I'm telling you, follow me. 13-3 with those. 13-3 with those damn over 1.5 field goals. They're always over 1.5 field goals, and a lot of times you're getting plus prices, like even low, but plus 105, plus 110, whatever. It's still a plus price. And I got one more pending today. I got the Panthers over 1.5 field goals, plus 109. And that's it. And I hit the Giants over 1.5 field goals this morning. So there you go.
The
stupid.
Okay, so the Patriots finally get they win in, and they keep the Lions off. The Lions only do that miraculous fourth quarter stuff when they're at home. They can't do that too much on the road. But this Seattle and New Orleans game, I'm looking at it right now, DommyGunRici, and I see we might have an angle for an over in this game right here, depending on what number we can get. It's 14 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Seattle's still in range for the fourth quarter magic, so there's plenty of scoring to go on right here. They've been averaging throughout this game about 14 points a quarter. So right now we're looking at a solid 50 points. So we're looking for something above 64, 65 points.
Yeah, they're driving.
Let's see what they come up with.
Oh, they just got another drive. They're past the 40. They're about out to like the 35 or something like that. They're driving. They're at like the 32-yard line or something like that. I'm watching. I got it on the computer, and they just show you like the lines and stuff. Dave, what games are you on? Are you on any of these games this afternoon? Let me know what games you're on this afternoon.
I don't see no action yet for me for that bet, but I'm gonna keep my eye on that one, y'all, because I didn't bet too many games this morning. I am on this Dolphins game. Look like I still got a lot of time left in the Dolphins game, but I got the Dolphins money line. I got them live for the second half, so I don't know what's going to happen right there. I got that parlayed over to the 49ers on the money line just for a few dollars to get me going. That's my first bet of the day right there. So I'm going to see how that – I got fourth quarter magic on my side in that game. So I might look back in and see if I could get some points with Miami. But I really need to be focused on watching that game before I pull the trigger on that. But Atlanta and Tampa Bay, I think Tampa Bay can close that out, no problem. I don't see no fourth quarter magic happening in that one. Tennessee and the Commanders. I know a lot of people on the Commanders in this spot. Somebody was saying, I think it was LJ and them the other day, that there was like, was it the Tennessee Titans that don't score many points in the second half? They kind of go sit down, better take it at the first half team.
Yeah.
So they're looking like that right now because they haven't scored no points in the second half. Well, actually, nobody's.
Right, exactly.
They scored
and look
7.
who they're playing. So I couldn't. I'll tell you, I can never make a case to go with the Commanders. They might pull this game out, they might not, but I could never make a case to back Carson Wentz or these Commanders. And as you see, and everybody thought this was like the sharp play of the day, and maybe it will be. But if they win, it's going to be them pulling it out. And I think a lot of people thought they were going to just walk all over Tennessee, who's not good. So I don't know. This is a game I stayed away from because it was a type of game that you can see the Commanders winning, but they're just a terrible team. And if they win this game, they won't be winning too many other ones. That's a terrible team. I truly believe. But anyhow, yeah. But I got you. I was on I was on Miami -3. I thought Miami had a good shot, and I thought if Teddy Bridgewater didn't get hurt, maybe they could have done something. But maybe I got to stop. I trashed the Jets, and I'm a Jet fan. I mean, that's the team I would love to see do good, but I just don't really believe in the coach, and I don't really believe in the quarterback. But listen, I've been wrong before, so let's see if they pull out another win today. And they're up 26-17. They're playing good ball. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they did get lucky. I mean, I don't want to say that. You still got to win. You still got to execute plays. So Wilson has played well today. I can't say that. Bridgewater was out early in the game, and the kid, Thompson, whoever the hell that is, been playing the backup. I mean, but hey, that's football. You can only play like everybody else. You can only play with who's in front of you. So good job by the Jets so far. But
we got the 2-minute drill in effect in the Jaguars. I mean, the Houston and Jaguars game, and also in the Chicago and Minnesota game. It looks like in both of those games,
touchdown Seattle.
There we go. You missed the magic is coming. I told you the magic was still available. I told you it was still available in that game.
14 minutes left. 31-25. You could see another 2 scores in this stupid game. It's only the whole fourth quarter is still alive. Seattle, wow, the resurgence of Geno Smith.
Yep.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, let's here we go. I got a 66.5 in the New Orleans and Seahawks game.
Well, let me go to a bet online.
I think that's worth taking a shot at under, but they're giving it to me at a -139. So I think I'm gonna take the shot right here. A live bet. Under 66.5 in the New Orleans game. That's giving me 2 touchdowns. And the field will take me off, but I got 2 touchdowns.
Let me see what Bet Online has here.
Let me get out of there.
Let's see. So, you were talking about Detroit. You know what? You're right that Detroit usually does that at home. And they usually do it against, which is weird, they usually do it against good teams. Like when they play another crappy team like them, they usually don't do good. It's kind of weird. They'll play better against good teams than wow, the Jets scored again, 33-17. Wow.
Oh, man.
Up extra point Miami. Wait a minute now. What's going on here?
I'm out of that game.
Did they? I don't know what they said. I think they might have made a mistake here. Wait a minute.
I've been seeing a lot of mistakes on the TV.
It said extra point Miami. I think they put the total. I think they. Are you on covers?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think maybe Miami scored, bro, and they gave the wrong. They put the wrong score. I don't know. It says extra point Miami. Dave, I don't know if Dave's still in the chat or not. I was going to say, Dave, tell us what's going on the Miami game.
I don't know.
All right, let me go back to the live betting here. Let's see if DJ Bigboss is on a play for us for this afternoon. Speaking of this afternoon, And what time is it? Oh, it's only 10-4. There is an early game at 4:05. Is that the? I believe that's the.
Oh, it's the Niners. It's the
That's
Niners.
the 49ers game.
Let's get into that. Let's get into the games that we got.
Because that game is going to go off in 15 minutes. So,
here we go.
Half Russian, how you doing? Touchdown Jets. Okay, thanks. I don't know what it was saying on the screen. Extra point Miami. I wasn't understanding what the hell that was about. So the Jets did score a touchdown. So yeah, hey, listen, got to give the Jets credit where credit is due.
I'm cooked.
49ers Panthers. I'll tell you, the 49ers. I mean, they're off that what I would consider an emotional win and a rival win last Monday against the Rams. A game that I did have the Rams actually, but I'll tell you, they are 28th in scoring, the 49ers, and they're not scoring many points. And I just like a low scoring game in this game. I took the Panthers field goal over 1.5. You know, the Panthers are 10th in scoring, and the 49ers are 28th in scoring. But the Panthers are also 27th in yards per play. So they don't. You know, they have all short running plays, but their defense, which I was a little surprised about, they're 9th in yards per play allowed, and they're 4th in red zone defense. So that's you're talking about some legit defense. But their offense, like I said, 10th in scoring, but 32nd. They're the last in the league in third down conversions. So all that to me really bodes towards a low-scoring game. It did go up from 39 to 40 today. I've been hot with those field goal props, and it's in games like this where I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I think that field goals are more prevalent in a game like this. Is why I took the Panthers. Because we know about the 49ers defense. I mean, you can go over a million numbers with that, but under 40, I think is a legitimate play. And like I said, I did take the field goal prop. But I don't know. What do you think about this? Because the 49ers, like I said, coming off that game Monday night against the Rams, they come play in Carolina.
Well, the under makes a lot of sense. Not only, we're on the road and we played on Monday night. So
right.
It was not much practice this week. Packing defense on the road is the best we could probably do. The offense is hit or miss sometimes anyhow. So this would be a great spot to either, believe it or not, might do well taking the 6 points with the Panthers because the Niners could be sluggish. There's a lot of volatility with them and the schedule changing and being on the road. So
right.
That points to under. That points to under, and that points to Panthers +6.
How about this angle then? And I heard it from somebody else. They were going to take the 49ers team total under, and I think it was like 22 or 22.5. And I thought that was a pretty interesting bet because that's 20. You would think that they're not going to score more than 21 points. So I mean that kind of bodes well with kind of what you're saying. But I kind of like that under 40 in that game. For sure. What game was that when you were talking about taking the over to Seattle game? Seattle. Let's see what they say about this. So yeah, you don't have any bets on that game?
On the Niners,
on the Niners.
I had a parlay. I had parlayed the Dolphins to that Niners bet, but that bet is probably cooked. So right now I'm working on this live bet, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do for the evening. I don't like taking the Niners minus the 6. I'll take a money line and something exotic. I just don't want to risk it. It's a risky spot. I think of course I want them to win, but they're a 6-point favorite, but I'm not pretty sure if they're gonna pass by 6 points. I mean, sooner or later, a lot of these games are gonna start coming down to field goals. It's just a matter of time till these teams start matching up like that, and you know how the NFL goes.
I mean, that's I kind of thought that really bodes well for this game.
But
And Baker Mayfield his numbers this year are all under his career numbers. Whatever those numbers were, those 3 or 4 top numbers, like his completion rates and pass per completion, yards completion, all that crap. He's down. He's under significant amount. So he's not playing well. But that's a tough team, man, to try to turn around. I think they got one of the worst coaches in the league, and GJ Moore has been like absent. He's been like a ghost. So I don't know what's going on with him. So and the other guy, McCaffrey, he's always one hit away from getting hurt. So that's a tough team.
Yeah. With the 49ers defense, he's going down today. I'm pretty sure he's gonna wobble out with an ankle or a wrist injury or something.
I couldn't find that damn paper.
Well, what you think about this other game right here, DommyGunRici, Cowboys and Rams?
Okay, I'm on the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys. I took them in the first half +3, which was even money, +100. I had them last week, first half -2. I like the way that Dallas is playing. I like this kid, Rush. He's playing very good. And, like we discussed before, I think it's because he's a product of the system there. He's been there for a long time. A guy like him, like say if he was on the 49ers, or maybe that's not a good example, 49ers, because they're a good team. But I could see him not doing as good on another team. Let's say a team like the Vikings, kind of like the Cowboys. You never know if they're going to win or lose. I don't know if he would do as good, but he knows the playbook. He knows the system as good as Dak Prescott. He's been there for a little while, and I think and he's showing his talents. Listen, he's played. He's 3-0 in the 4 games. 200 last week against the Commanders, who I always trash. He had 223 yards, 2 TDs. He has no interceptions this year. He only has 2 sacks, which I guess the O-line is playing there, is doing their thing too. But he kind of escaped. And so I like the kid. Dallas's defense has held opponents to 19 points or less in the 4 games. They've only allowed 4 touchdowns in the total in this 4 weeks, the Cowboys. And the offense of the Rams, last week they had like 57 yards in rushing. Their offense, Cooper Kupp and Higbee. That's their offense. Dallas's D is playing good. I like Dallas in this game. I was almost looking at the under, but I thought the number was probably pretty much at what it should be. It opened at 44. Now it's 42 and a half. So I missed the number there. But I took Dallas first half -3. You never know with Stratford if come back in the second half type of thing. But I think the Cowboys could jump on them. And again, like we talked about the 49ers, the Rams played on Monday night, and they lost, a game on Monday night. So you think they could be pissed, but I like Dallas, So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
He's another coach I don't like to trust is Dallas's coach, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Let me see.
You gotta go through a few coaches before you get the right one. So we'll go through the storms over there.
And Dallas got the Eagles next week, and then Detroit, then the Bears. So they got the Eagles and then a couple easy games, and then the Rams got Carolina, San Francisco again on October 30th at home, I guess, versus at home against Carolina. Oh, so the Rams are at home today, at home against Carolina next week, at home against San Francisco the following week, and then they go on the road to Tampa. So there you go. So San Francisco is going to play them again in 2 weeks. Interesting.
I think the Rams they should have practiced well this week after the way they lost to the Niners. Yeah. They have to improve on offense. The defense could play a little tighter, but I mean the defense bend don't break. It's decent. I kind of lean under in this game, but I kind of think it's a spot for the Rams to try to show off.
That's what I'm
at
worried about.
home.
That 42 number seemed kind of like pretty much a solid number, right? 42, that's a tough
Yeah.
one.
Let's jump into the next one because I know that Niner game's
And what you
approaching
were saying,
soon.
by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you. What you were saying is really that my reasoning on why I took Dallas first half and not for the full game. The full game was plus 5, plus 5 or 5.5, but it was 4.5 and went up to 5.5. But I took Dallas for the like I said, the plus 3. I mean, plus 3 is always good for a first half bet. You got
Oh
some
yeah,
wiggle room there, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
well, but I was listen. The Rams ain't gonna play like crap for the whole season. Like I said, week 5 now, so we might see something different tonight. So we'll see what happens. But anyhow, yeah. What's the next game?
The Eagles and the Cardinals. This game I really don't want to have nothing to do with. I'm not trying to get in front of the Eagles, and I'm not trying to fade the Cardinals. I don't know, but if I had to take a play on it, give me the Cardinals at home. I'm gonna take the Cardinals at home every time because the Super Bowl is gonna be out that way.
Yeah,
And they gotta be impressive. So I'm gonna try to take them at home as much as possible. This is a home dog, might be the home dog special of the day, taking the Cardinals, but I'm gonna stay away from it overall.
I got to look at the money splits, but everybody loves the Eagles, right? Everybody loves the Eagles. I took a teaser in this game, and I like to take teasers when I get the half points because I hate that damn lose on a tie. I think too many people don't figure that in when they're doing teasers, and and I've done it myself, and you kind of dismiss that number, but you really can't. That 6-point teaser on the number is not a 6 points; it's 5 points. So I took a teaser anyhow, over 42.5, and the Cardinals plus 11.5. That was my
Okay.
bet. So I mean, let's see what I listen. I could see the Cardinals beating. I could see them beating the Eagles tonight. I could see them actually. I think a lot of people are on the Eagles. I think the Eagles is on paper probably the solid bet, but this is the
Think it's
NFL, and like we
worth the
say, right?
sprinkle.
It is a little chicken parmesan money. Yeah, Arizona is 5-0 against. Listen, head to head, Arizona is 5-0 against the spread when they host Philadelphia. So when they're building, they're 5-0. Last time Eagles came, last 5 times. I know that's other years, and but still, the Eagles still haven't done well out there. Arizona is 12-3 against the spread in October. And then Philadelphia is 17-7-1 in the last 25 games on the road against defense. Okay, against defenses allowing less than 14 yards per attempt. So that gets a little involved there. I just thought the over was 17-7-1 on the road, but no, it's against a certain defense, so we'll throw that out. But Arizona 12-3, last 12-3 against the spread, last 15 in October. So I guess the organization, for some reason, takes a while for them to start, getting their act together. If in October they always do so good, that's I guess that means in September they don't. That's pretty interesting. What else can I tell you about this game? Well, Arizona is playing. Let's see, the Eagles. They're at home against the Cowboys next week. Then they're at home against the Steelers. Then they got to go to Houston. Then they're home against Washington. Then they got to go to the Colts. So the Eagles got a pretty easy schedule after these 2 games. I would think tonight is a pretty good matchup with Arizona, and then they got a division rival with Dallas. Who, if Dallas wins tonight, that's going to be a real marquee game, and still a division game. Even if Dallas loses, they've been playing well. So after that, though, the Eagles got a pretty good schedule. They have a pretty easy schedule, DJ. Wow.
Yeah.
The only other team they got that's well, the Giants. I can't say that because the Giants are playing well, but it's the Packers, and we've seen them lost. And then for the Cardinals, they got Seattle, then the Saints, then the Vikings, then Seattle again, and then the Rams, and then the Niners, then the Chargers. So they got a harder schedule the rest of the way through until their bye week, which is in a couple of weeks. So there you go. A little something about Arizona and Philadelphia. Philadelphia 3-1 against the spread, 4-0, 4-0, which we know against the spread. What's their strength of schedule? Yeah, see, they have an easy one. The Eagles got a good road ahead. If they watch their, I mean, they could afford it, even afford a loss here. But the Eagles are the only
Oh
team ranked
wow!
in the top five. Wow, what happened?
The Saints
And
scored
the
a
Eagles are ranked
touchdown.
top 5. What was that?
Saints scored a touchdown. It went over.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, that's
Tampa
69
Bay.
right
Look at
there.
Atlanta. Look at the Falcons again. Another second half team. I'm gonna look this up while we talk about the next game. The Falcons now got 15 points in the fourth quarter, 15-21. 2 minutes left. Tampa got the ball, up 5, up by 6 points. Do your math, Dom. Wake up. So there you go. And 24 seconds left. The Redskins, the Commanders, are driving. They're in the red zone. There's 24 seconds left, and they're down by 4 points, 21-17. So they can't kick a field goal. They're going to either win this game 23-21, or they're going to lose 21-17. 24 seconds left. And that's covered, so that this game could be over because they're always a little bit behind, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I got a teaser in the Arizona game. And looking at all the little trends and stuff. I mean, I got the over 42.5. That seems reasonable. And I don't think the Cardinals are going to get blown out like that. But listen, the Eagles have done that already this year, so we will see what happens. But wow, Seattle 32-37. Wow. I'll tell you, Geno Smith is like the emergence of Geno Smith is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. The Giants won earlier today. A shout out to the Giants. They won 27-22 this morning. Listen, they played well. I watched that whole game. Jones, I haven't been a Jones supporter. He's played well. Gable got something in him, man. I keep on saying that Gable's not going to have him as his quarterback next year, and he might not. For all we know, he could just be the back. He could be a backup at that point, but there's not really a great quarterback class coming out. But there are some quarterbacks up for contracts and free agents and stuff. So things could get moved around. But listen, the Giants are playing well. They beat they beat Aaron Rodgers. They beat the Packers, in England, which ain't easy to play. 27-22. If you asked me before the game to pick a bet, I mean, the total was only 41.5, 42, but I was thinking it was going to be a low-scoring game. I hit the Giants over 1.5 field goals in that game, but yeah, shout out to the Giants, man. They put 14 points up in the fourth quarter, came down. They were behind 22 to 7, 10, 13. They came 14 points. 14 points in the fourth quarter to win the game.
Here go the last game right here, Dom. Let's get on to this one so we can wrap it up, man.
You got it, buddy.
Because the Niner game already started.
Okay, what's our last game?
Bengals at Ravens.
Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, yes. Bengals at Ravens.
Yeah, Bengals
-3.
The Bengals are -3. I see 3.5 now, right? Not the Bengals, the Ravens. Cincinnati is +3.5, right? The Ravens are -3.5. I'll tell you, I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm not on this game. To me, this game is a tough one to pick. I think gun to head, I might take the Ravens. Just for some reason, everyone's talking about how the Bengals beat them up last year with those 2 games, like over 700 yards passing or whatever the hell it was in those 2 games. It was 2 blowouts, and I just think the Ravens have that in mind. And I don't know, man. It's a tough game. I know the over, and that's another thing. Something tells me that it might not be like that as it was last year. With such a high-scoring games, but the over was 47.5. I'm really all over the place with this game. I had no idea which way to go. So, you know, the Ravens got the Giants, and then the Browns after that. The Bengals have the Saints, then the Falcons, then Cleveland, then Carolina. So Cincinnati got a pretty easy schedule going forward also. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any look on this game at all? It's a tough one for me.
I'm just gonna sprinkle, and hope for the money side of things. So I sprinkle the Cardinals on the money line, and I'm gonna sprinkle the Bengals on the money line as well.
Right. I hear you. The Ravens are letting up 6.2 yards per play, which is 29th in the NFL. Which is that is not a good stat, especially against a kid that could throw the ball like Cool Joe. So that's definitely not a good stat. You know what? The Bengals, I think that number 47.5 is good. If either it's going to go like 45 points or it's going to be like 65 points. I don't think that's why I kind of think that this game is going to be. It's either going to go way over or stay under. But the Bengals team total, I got to take a look at that. What's the Bengals team total? That might be a play. I mean, the defense is pretty bad in Baltimore. Let's see. They got a plus. Let's see, +5. Oh, turnover differential +5. Wow. I mean, both teams. I mean, listen, Cincinnati's scoring 22 points, almost 23 points a game, and Baltimore almost 30 points a game. Jeez. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that team total over. But other than that, DJ, I really don't have a look on this game. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be watching the Met game tonight. I won't even have any. Wentz interception and Titans win. Yes, good. I'm
hey,
so
check
happy
this
to hear
out.
that.
Check this out, DommyGunRici. Not much fourth quarter magic work this week. Right here in the Commanders and Tennessee. Tennessee pulled it out. Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Tampa Bay pulled it out. New England, of course, they beat Detroit pretty bad. Well, a little bit of magic in the Chargers and the Cleveland, but I don't know. It was such a close game, and they just kicked the field goal in the fourth quarter. That was all. And so basically, most of the teams are closing out so far. So I think I'm in good hands with one of my sprinkles. To have some fourth quarter magic and really shock. We haven't had a real shocker today at all.
Right. No,
unless you want to call the Jets Dolphins a shocker.
No, I don't think it was a shocker. I mean, I took the Dolphins. That's my only loss so far today.
That was defeat by injury. 49ers on the board, 7-0.
Listen, Teddy Bridgewater, and which I told you before is a weird stat that he's the number 4 all-time against the spread. It's Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and then Teddy Bridgewater. Boy, that'd be a question that a trivia question.
Trivia question,
right? But for the late games, I'll just go over what I'm on for the late games, and then we'll call it a wrap for Week 5. Like I said, tonight I'll be all over the Mets. I'm on that game over 6.5, and I'm just my head is in baseball mode after I watched the rest of this Cowboys game. So I got the Cowboys first half +3. I have the Bear. I hit that Bears thing. Okay, I got a teaser Cardinals +11.5 and over 42.5 in that game, and I got the Panthers over 1.5 field goals +109. So those are my 3 bets for this afternoon, and that's it. That's all I got for you.
Mines are easy. I got a sprinkle on the Cardinals to win money line at home, and I got a sprinkle on the Cincinnati Bengals to win on Sunday night. That's it for me.
That's it.
Hey, let them know where you're gonna be on this week, though, Dom. Those real cappers out there looking for those great MLB playoff stuff right now, not this crazy NFL stuff. So let them know where you're gonna be this week.
Well, it's since it's the playoffs and stuff, and we're really sure about the schedules. We didn't plan any shows, but I will be doing a playoff preview on the games Tuesday. I'll do one tomorrow. I'll I'll have it sometime tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. I'll probably go live sometime around 3 o'clock or something. And because we have no games tomorrow, we have the Mets playing tonight, and then all the other series are wrapped up. Tuesday we have the Mariners against the Astros. We have who the hell else won? Who's playing the Yankees? Oh, the Guardians are playing the Yankees. That should be a good series. The Mariners are playing Astros. The Phillies are playing the Braves, and the winner of tonight's game, Padres-Mets, plays the Dodgers. So those are the games on Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll do a preview tomorrow, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens next. With the playoff games, you're gonna have to just look out for my Twitter at Dom4541 on Who Bangin' Sports Talk, and we'll let you know. But definitely tomorrow, I'll have some baseball for you guys, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. And by the way, we're broadcasting live on your channel as well. So get on over to DommyGunRici's personal channel for some of those gems he drops sometime as well. Make sure you subscribe over there, as well as Who Bangin'. And you can catch me Wednesday, Boston the Sauce, me and Big Ragoo breaking down that college football. We did okay this weekend. Always could have did a little better, but it's all good. We keep it going. Also on Saturdays on Pubs, you can catch us with the NCAA football club. Early. It comes on so early. I can't even remember the name. I had to get up at 7 a.m.
I know, man.
It's all good, man. But and also catch us right back here on Before You Bet next Sunday. We'll probably have some guests, a little bit more prepared for y'all.
Yeah.
And let's see what we have. We get some new people in here we never met.
Today was Thanksgiving. Today was Thanksgiving up in Canada, from what I hear. So a couple people I was thinking of having on. But every once in a while, I like to just do a show, nice and easy. But yeah, next week we'll see. I got a couple feelers out to a couple people that we haven't had on Who Bangin'. So that's what I've been shooting for. But we've been doing good with that so far. We had Jay Peasy last week, and LJ's been on already with Wham. But you know what I'm saying. We had a couple new. We got Paco Healy to come on. That was great, and so we'll keep it going. Hope everybody enjoys it. We just try to do this on 3:30. Talk a little bit about the late games. Every once in a while we need that little extra boost or. Add on to those winnings. So that's why we do it. And it's a lot of fun. And we appreciate everybody joining us. So until next week, week 6, this is DommyGunRici and I'm DJ Bigboss. And this is Before You Bet. See you next week.
No matter how you did on your early NFL bets, join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. on Before You Bet.